beautiful baby bimbos, and welcome to today's pick a card reading. Today we are going to be doing hyping you up, okay, Halloween style. We're going to be using the Literary Witches Oracle deck today, which is brand new and so Halloweeny, so I'm very excited to be working with it. Let's go on ahead and jump right into things with pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will give y'all a moment to choose. Alrighty, and let's go on ahead and get started with pile number 1. Alrighty, hello to those of you who chose pile number 1, this gorgeous black obsidian. This is going to be your reading for your hype. Alright, let's get right into it. I am working with a new deck, so be patient with me, but I'm gonna try, oh my gosh, and get these messages without using the book. Obviously, I'm gonna use the book a little bit, but with the wings here, I really feel like this angelic kind of aura already that's coming from you. Like, you're just a very innocent person, and even if you don't act like you're totally innocent or feel like you're totally innocent, I feel like you have this visual of like being very innocent and angelic, and so a lot of people put a lot of trust in you. I'm hearing like you might be one of those people that like you can get into a taxi, or not a taxi, what's more modern, an Uber or like something like that, and people will just instantly reveal their whole life story to you. It can also be like you're at your grocery store and like the cashier, you just give them one look and they're instantly like telling you everything about like what's been going on this week with them. That happens to me, so I feel that vibe is like coming strongly off of this group just because of your angelic aura. But it's interesting because we also have Sylvia Plath here, which stands for the dark, and so there's this great duality to you, because especially when paired with the apple, it's kind of like you're this temptation to people where if they really know you, then there's something about you that's a little bit more on the dark side that they're like, oh, I don't know for sure if I should go for this person, like if this is just a facade or if they actually are a very innocent an angelic individual, which I'm getting that you are. Like, your angels are very proud of you for being super angelic and for always taking the higher route. I'm hearing you might be like literally like a fallen angel, somebody that was an angel, somebody that was watching over a lot of people, healing a lot of people, but was pulled down to earth for very specific reasons to help heal people more physically, because there's only so much that you can do, you know, especially in this day and age when a lot of people, more people are starting to listen to their intuition, but there's still not a lot of people that are doing that. I'm gonna get a drink also. Let's keep going. Oh my god. Literally, okay, here's the story with this deck, right guys? So I like pull it out, I am in the car, okay, like I buy it, I'm in the car, I'm pulling all the cards out, looking through all of them, and guess what's on there? Anaïs Nin, who I'm actually named after. She was a French erotica author, sorry for stutters, in the 1970s, and yeah, I was named after her, and I didn't even know that she was a card in this deck, and then when I pulled it out after buying it, I was like, yeah, I knew this is the deck I was supposed to get. But she talks a lot about the subconscious and kind of exactly what we were talking about, like following more of your intuition, like listening more to your intuition and the deep thoughts that you're having. You might be a very deep individual too, have a lot of intellectual conversations with yourself, but like a lot of the time it's also with the divine. I feel like you pull a lot of information from the kind of heavens and like bring them down to earth almost. We also have 𝙤𝙤𝙔𝙠, the body. Yeah, especially when paired with 𝑛𝑖𝑠𝑛, I feel like you're a very sexually open individual. You're not afraid to discuss sex. Even though you're very innocent, I feel like that's the dark side of you that's very tempting, is you're very seductive and you seduce people very easily. I feel like you have a very nice body too. Does not matter what the fuck it looks like. Curvy, not curvy, you know, got a little extra inches on you, doesn't fucking matter. People love your body. I feel like you emanate this confidence that people want to replicate so badly because you're just so confident in what you have to offer this world, which is so beautiful. I'm gonna get another drink and then we'll get into reading more about these cards, see if we can get some more information. Whew, yum. It's the morning time, so that's why I'm like, literally trying to wake up here, catch my breath. Oh my god, it's so interesting. The apple literally talks about the senses, hunger, and sex. And so that's really interesting because that's kind of the messages that I was getting from 𝑛𝑖𝑠𝑛 and 𝙤𝙤𝙔𝙠. I'm gonna butcher all of these today. I just know it. For having a complicated name, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. But yeah, definitely a lot of people have a hunger for you. You're probably very good in the bedroom. You know what you're doing. So that's kind of that aura of innocence that comes off, is like, that's just the facade. Like, people kind of see that, but they don't know you. They don't know, like, yeah, well, some people do, obviously. I feel like you had a lot of people fantasizing about sex and about your sexual acts that you've been in with people in the past. People are definitely into that side of you. Whew. All right, wings, where are you? It's interesting because this book, nothing is alphabetized, so I have to look for everything. At least I don't think it is. Maybe this one is. Wishes, ambition, and wandering. Okay, so that's really interesting too. I feel like not only do you fulfill a lot of people's wishes just by being yourself, but also you're super ambitious, and a lot of people look up to you because of that. And with wandering too, I feel like, again, you have your head in the clouds, but it's a good thing. You're definitely a big dreamer. You want to travel the world, it seems like. You want to get your ideas out there, experience more culture. There's just so much to you that you want to do. You're just very ambitious and driven. A lot of people see that and they notice, like, the success that you're going to be having in your life because of just how ambitious and driven you are. So, with the dark... Oh my gosh, I totally forget about that. Living in the dark, intensity, fury. Actually, what instantly comes to my mind with this one, you might be one of those people that literally is so ambitious that, like, you work, and you don't even recognize. Also, that's Ghost in the background, our little cat. He's so cute. He just wants to put his 2 cents in. But you might be one of those people that, like, you work all day and it becomes dark, like nighttime, and you don't even realize it because you're just like on your computer, like still working, or you do notice it but you just do not even mind. Come here, baby. Come here. Yeah, so that's definitely really interesting. I forget that Sylvia Plath ended her life by putting her head in an oven. That's kind of an intense way. Oh my gosh, yeah, and intensity and fury. You definitely have this intensity about yourself. You might be like a little bit, like the vibe, again, that I'm getting is like you have this angelic aura, of course, this like angelic way about yourself, but if somebody pushes your buttons in the wrong way, they see this dark side that like not a lot of people ever get to see. It's very hidden. You just have this intensity to you. You might keep tabs on a lot of people too, which is kind of genius. So that way, if you ever like get into arguments with people, like they don't even fucking stand a chance. Like you've been kind of building this shit up for days, right? Yeah, so 𝑛𝑖𝑠𝑛 talks about the unexplored, submerging, and surfacing. You might bring a lot of people's truest intentions to light too, because you're very intuitive of an individual, especially talking about the subconscious here. I feel like you bring a lot of people's darker sides to light, and it kind of exposed a lot of people, which is a good thing, because definitely it's such a vibe. Like, you protect a lot of people, especially your friends, because of that, because you're like, I don't trust this person, I don't know what it is about them, but there's something that's ringing me wrong, you know. Or because you might be one of those people where people just instantly spill their whole truth to you, you know. You might actually find out a lot more about people than other people do, because people just spill their emotions and like what they've been through to you, and so you kind of pick up on that a lot. Yeah, the names are not alphabetized. That's what's the only issue. Here we go. The body. Joys of the body, sorrows of the body, the senses, for Sandra Cisneros. So definitely, this is kind of what we've been talking about, like the joys of the body, you know, like a lot of that has to do with sex, obviously, but also like your confidence in your body and your confidence in yourself. And with the senses here, that's definitely like your intuition. I feel like this group has a very powerful intuition, and it's important for you to trust it, because you're here for a very important reason. And you bring a lot of happiness and light back into people's lives by helping people rid of the energies that aren't supposed to be there, essentially. I'm drinking water. This is your reminder to get some water, my beautiful baby bimbos, as we are hydrating today, not dehydrating, okay? We're gonna get 3 of these cards. Does this all fit on here? Nice. We're gonna get 3 of these cards to kind of clarify. Oh my god. Oh, I literally thought that you got apple blossom, but it's sweet pea. Let's see what else you got. Rhododendron and 𝙁𝙆𝙗. Yeah, I'm getting that like you've been through a very hard life. Like, you've really had a hard life. You've probably put up with a lot of negative energies, a lot of poisonous people. Whew, gotta take a breath. I keep running out of breath in this group. I feel like it's hard to keep up with you, you know? And that's the reason why I keep running out of breath, is because a lot of people try to keep up with you, but they don't recognize that, like, you're on a different mission in this life. A life that you kind of picked before you even got here. And so it's hard for people to keep up with you because they didn't pick that life, you know? Like, they chose other things, and this life is definitely a very difficult one, especially for you, and a lot that you've been through. But you have devotion, and you're very courageous. You know how to keep your shit moving, you know, even through the harsh conditions. I'm getting like, you don't let the harsh conditions really get to you, especially the negative people, negative energies, because you recognize that they're negative for a reason, that they have chosen to be that way. They've been through probably a lot of similar shit, but rather than healing from it, they've probably stuck in this kind of victim mentality, like this victim blame, or not victim blame, but victim mentality, where they're kind of like, woe is me, you know, poor me. And then they just stay like that rather than trying to heal from it and grow from it and change and recognize, okay, I have the power to change this situation. It doesn't always have to be, oh, woe is me. I can actually shift my things around and become a much better person. And I feel like that's exactly what you've done. And yeah, Spirit just warns you, because you're definitely destined in this life to put up with a lot of negativity, a lot of negative people, and you might be like, ah, shit. But it's a good thing, because you're here to touch people's lives, and you wouldn't believe it, but you've actually changed a lot of human beings throughout your existence. You've put on such a good example that people definitely aspire to be that side of yourself. And it's definitely a lot of work dealing with a lot of negativity, a lot of people. You probably had to cut off a lot of people, and that makes you feel bad, but never feel bad about it, because you're just protecting yourself. All these people just straight up can't get to you, you know? With delicate pleasures, meet me by moonlight and kind-heartedness, you're definitely a hopeless romantic. That's coming to my mind. A lot of people love your romantic side about yourself, especially your partners. They love not only your sex, but your romance as well. The way that you probably incorporate the two together, a little bit of sex and romance here and there. We also have delicate pleasure, so you're probably a very delicate individual, okay? Because you put up with a lot of stuff, you know, you've been through a lot of stuff, and so people might see you as having like harsher boundaries, or being a little bit more reserved, or shy, but in reality, you're just learning to protect yourself. You're kind of like the ones to sit back and let other people reveal themselves to you, so then you can decide whether or not you actually want to be keeping them around in your life, you know, because a lot of these people will put up a front, put up a facade, you know, which you do the same thing, but it's for your own good, and you recognize that you're kind-hearted underneath. A lot of people will put up a facade to try to hide their ugly, but you've embraced your dark, you know, you've embraced your ugly, and you've made it beautiful. You've made it work for you, and so that's absolutely gorgeous and wonderful. Let's keep going. This group, though, I'm definitely just like out of breath and worn out, though, because again, I feel like a lot of the energies around you are like competitive. They like try to keep up with you. They try to like take you down almost. And that's a lot of fuck shit to put up with, you know? And that's a lot of people that just try to get your energy and your attention, and whew, wears me the fuck out. For your character cards, you have Mr. Darcy. So, mysterious, bad at communication, excruciatingly sexy and intelligent, and a gentleman. So, does not matter your sex here. Take it either way. You could be a gentle woman or a gentle human as well. But you're definitely mysterious. With the bad at communication, I'm getting just the fact that, like, it probably, again, takes you a lot to bring up negative topics, you know, because you don't really, like, pick to be around negative people. It just sort of like happens, like because of people putting up a facade. And so again, I feel like it's not that you're bad at communication, it's just that maybe you're communication avoidant because of how much you've been through. Like you would rather kind of ghost somebody than you would want to like put up a front and be like, hey, this is what's wrong, you know? Like you would much rather just kind of like phase people out of your life, like slowly and carefully, rather than being like, hey, stop doing that, you know? Because again, you're very mysterious. You keep to yourself a lot, and you definitely delve deep into your subconscious and your thoughts, and you're excruciatingly sexy and intelligent because of that. I feel like you could be a very good writer as well because of all these deep emotions, these deep feelings. Poetry is coming into my head, as well as just writing, overall journaling. You just are very intelligent. I feel like you take a deep dive into whatever it is that you're thinking about. You don't just like think about one thing, like one-sided, how is this going to affect me, but you think about how is this going to affect me and everybody else around me too, which is very good of you. And you're definitely a gentle woman as well. I feel like your etiquette is on point, which is just kind of like a random thought, but especially with Mr. Darcy, like being a period piece, that's definitely the vibe that I'm getting. We also have Princess Bubblegum here. She's from Adventure Time. We have Boss Bitch, leader / ruler, and queen energy. Exactly. Like you definitely have this massive like ruler type of energy. A lot of people want to follow you, which is why people are running out of breath trying to keep up with you, because you're so ambitious and driven. And you're a wanderer. You're always trying new things and trying to look at things from newer lights. And you definitely follow your intuition hardcore, which I think is a lot of what other people are missing. And it's why a lot of people are trying to catch up to you rather than trying to be their own thing, you know? But with Boss Bitch here, you definitely could own your own company. You could be in charge of a lot of people. I feel like because you are so reserved, like you definitely keep to yourself, but you're there whenever people need you, you know, like you're there whenever you have to speak your truth. Obviously, like you'll avoid it at all costs, but whenever it's necessary, you absolutely must. And so again, that's why way at the beginning of this, I talked about the fact that like very seldom people will see this hardcore dark side of yourself, you know, but whenever it comes out, it really comes out. You're very strategic. We also have Magic Mirror here, so reflecting each other, twin flame, ultimate soulmate, and past life. And that's kind of what I was talking about with one of these cards, I forget, but like a lot of people definitely see you as like a soulmate. They definitely feel like, I feel like you've had a lot of connections with people in past lives. You're able to reflect other people's energy very well. Throat chakra blockages again, but probably like speaking your truth or like a lot of people probably have hard time like iterating this to you because of how intimidating your energy is, you know, because again, you put off this very innocent facade, but it's also hard to talk to you because you're so shy at first, you know. But you definitely reflect other people's energies too, and so that's why other people have an easy time, if they're not in love with you, opening up to you, because you're very quiet and you'll just be a listening ear for a lot of people. Let's get one more of these cards. Yeah, there we go. We also have brat stall. So lips, face, body, everything is incredible. Good fashion sense and hot baddie energy. Exactly. So that's pretty much what we were talking about with Sandra Cisneros. Fuck, I'm literally gonna butcher this every time. But literally, you're just so confident because you got it going on. Your body is literally everything. Your lips, your face. You probably have really nice skin, good skincare. I know I always ask my baby bimbos for skincare routines because we love to see them in the comments. And please tell us what type of skin you have, whether it be combination oily or dry, because we love to hear the hacks out here, especially people that have beautiful skin. It's good to encourage that in other baby bimbos as well. But you also have a very good fashion sense and hot baddie energy. So I'm getting that like if you have acne, if you are having like kind of a lower confidence day, your fashion definitely boosts your sense of confidence. Like you'll dress yourself up a little bit and you'll instantly be feeling better and like more of a baddie, you know, which is really good. It's good that you have like coping mechanisms, I'm hearing. It's good that you are able to, yeah, just like know how to make yourself feel better and more confident, which you do, and that's definitely a good thing. You can also give some confidence boosting tips too as well. I just love this community and that we can have open and beautiful conversations about like how we went from like one portion to the next portion. Like for me, I had really bad TSW, topical steroid withdrawal, eczema, very dry skin, and I have healed that shit to a fucking T. I'm actually going to be putting out my skincare routine probably in the next video, and then I'll have it posted separately so that way all of y'all can reference it whenever you would like. But yes, my beautiful baby bimbos, these are the messages that I got for you today. This was such a wonderful and chill reading. I know the other ones are probably going to hype me up more, but it's just your shy energy that definitely rubs off on me, and me being out of breath for this whole fucking reading because people are trying to catch up with you, which is a very difficult thing to do because you have mastered the light and the dark side. You are very sexually appealing, sexually tempting, but also like a lot of people want to kind of break that innocence. But you're also very confident in your body and mysterious simultaneously. Like I'm getting not a lot of people probably get to sleep with you, but you're very kind-hearted to a lot of people. I feel like you change a lot of people even just by leading by example, even just throughout your lifetime by people kind of like following your Instagram, I'm hearing, or your TikTok, with you like putting ideas out there, even just your energy. People see it. People know that you have gone through a lot and you still come out on top, being represented as three very powerful individuals. You are a boss bitch, okay? So keep up the good work. I love you all. You are here to do very important and beautiful things, so definitely keep going, keep thriving. Pick more piles too, because this is definitely a multiple pile. Pick a card, and I will see y'all very soon, okay? Praying it resonated. Goodbye. Woo! Hello to those of you who chose pile number 2. This beautiful crystal. It has this little fleck of blue in it. I'm not sure what this is though. I'll have to ask. All of these crystals pretty much I stole from my boyfriend's collection, so don't mind me. Just being a little thief over here. But we're gonna go on ahead and get into hyping you guys up for this Halloween, okay? Wow, so we have Eileen Chang, which is fate. Oh my goodness, yes, you guys are definitely living out, similar to the last pile, a very fated life. Like everything that you've been doing, you
Okay, they're literally telling me to read it too, which I didn't get for the last pile. I was kind of waiting till the end, but they're like, look into this one. Outside forces, events falling into place, and acceptance. Yeah, I feel like you've accepted this kind of like way that you're supposed to go about your life. I don't know. It's going to be very variant, obviously, for everybody watching this pile, because I feel like everybody is strong in a very specific field. So that could be like scientific, could be pertaining to psychology, sociology, all of those, like, not even just that, but like the hard sciences, business world, like literally so many different things. It's hard to point my finger on just one, obviously, because this pile has a lot of different things going on. But I feel like you're very fated to be working in the field in which you are working in right now, which is so beautiful. We also have Mary Shelley, so loss. Okay, and you could have dealt with a lot of loss in your life. You could have grown up like around a lot of death, a lot of just things in your life. And death doesn't even have to be like physical death either. It can literally be like the demise of your parents' relationship, or the death of relationships around you, just kind of a lot of death in your life overall. Maybe a lot of changes too, like you moved a lot. But it could also literally be death also. Death of family members, of friends, family members, of pets. Just a lot of loss that you've been through in your life, and yet you have stayed on top, you know. And Mary Shelley, obviously all of these figures in this are incredible, but Mary Shelley was one of the first like female authors, you know. She wrote Frankenstein and she had to do it underneath of a male's name in order to even publish it. And so I feel like this group has a lot of strong feminine energy, like a lot of strong feminines who are meant to be doing the most on this earth. I'm hearing who are meant to be making a lot of money too. So keep that in mind, especially with this pile. I feel like this pile is destined to make a lot of money and to kind of rise from the ashes in a way. Let's get a little bit more information on Mary Shelley as well, if I can pull it up. The circle of life, transitions, and attachment. Yeah, definitely. Like, there's definitely been a lot of transitions in phases. Okay, that could be your loss as well. Like, all the deaths in your life are probably different stages. Like, you've probably been through a lot of different versions of yourself. Oh my god, what the fuck? I'm literally seeing Justin Bieber, My World, and then My World 2.0, and then versus like how he is today, basically. Like, just how much you've grown and accomplished in your very short period of your lifetime. Which again, it doesn't matter like what the fuck age you are. This lifetime that we have is very short, and a lot of us have accomplished so much, you know. We also have pond, hedgehog, wildflowers, teacup. Wow, a lot of these cards then followed up. Two very strong feminine figures, and then a lot of these cards. Yeah, followed up. Okay, because we have knife, pond, hedgehog, wildflowers, teacup. So with the pond, I'm getting that like you've probably dealt with a lot of like shallow individuals, and it hasn't like intellectually stimulated you a lot. Like, your friend group that you're coming upon or have right now is very, very good for you, because I feel like the people that you're starting to surround you with are a lot more intellectually stimulating, which you haven't had a lot of in your previous connections. And what that means, obviously, are people that have these in-depth conversations with you. People who have also experienced a lot of loss, because a lot of people who haven't experienced loss probably can't relate to you in the same ways, you know? And it's really interesting because especially with like the hedgehog here too, you probably, the people that you attract are probably more like prickly on the surface, but then once you like get to know them, they can be very, very sweet and kind-hearted. You might be a night creative too, because I know that hedgehogs are nocturnal, so they're awake during the nighttime. They like to cozy up and sleep during the day. So you might find a lot of your creativity in the darkness, in the nighttime. And speaking of in the darkness as well, in a lot of those times in which you've experienced loss, you've probably found a lot of creative outlooks, creative outputs. I don't know the right word there, but there's something there where you guys are using the loss to create, essentially, to make beautiful things out of the loss. Just like Mary Shelley, you know? The book Frankenstein, they talk about like putting a body back together and bringing it back to life. And essentially, this Frankenstein, you know, just wants to be loved, but is turned into a massive monster because people don't understand him. And it's kind of the same vibe that I'm getting here, is like you really create, you know, this beautiful life out of what you've been given, which is a lot of loss, a lot of hardships, but you know that you've had to go through that in order to become the powerful individual that you are today, okay? Let's get some more messages. Okay. We have knife here, which is intention, conflict, and resolution. I feel like you're very cutthroat of an individual as well. You don't let a lot of people get to you. Kind of similar to the last pile, but this pile, you feel like you are actually able to really hardcore speak your truth. Like, you're not afraid to cut people off. You're not afraid to tell people what they're doing wrong, what they can improve on, you know, which can sometimes be also the death of you. But for the most part, it's very beneficial, not only to you, but a lot of people that are around you, because it cuts to the point, you know, it's very straight to the point. You're not just dancing around people's feelings, emotions. You're to the point. You're like, okay, we're gonna solve this. We're gonna get over this. You're a very problem solver kind of individual. Hedgehog means vulnerability, hiding the heart, and tenderness. Exactly. So you might have a lot of hard time trusting, a lot of hard time expressing your vulnerabilities, especially after what you've been through. Yes, you are cutthroat in nature, you know, but when it comes to discussing like things that maybe have hurt your feelings or have made you sad, you're probably more reserved. But I'm also getting that you've come up with really good coping mechanisms for those times in which you you might be a witch too. You might have witchcraft that you deal with in those times, but that doesn't have to resonate. That was just a little slip up of the tongue. But overall, I'm getting that like you have really good coping mechanisms when it comes to dealing with loss and those fated situations that you find yourself in quite frequently. But because of that, you've come out a lot stronger and actually more of a guiding light to individuals too, because of these things. But yeah, you might have a really hard time opening up to people, letting people in. You're very closed off and sheltered, which is different from the last pile. The last pile was very shy, but you feel like you've just been through so much shit that you're like, walls up, no way, nobody's getting in here kind of vibes, you know? We also have, let's see here, which one can I find next? Wildflowers, renewal, romance, awakening. Yeah, and the hedgehog also talks about like lack of vulnerability, you know? And so I feel like, especially when it comes to romantic partners, you've probably been through the ringer too. Like, you've probably been through a lot of people who are, not necessarily a lot of people who are narcissistic. I'm getting like you've probably dealt with one particular very strong narcissist of an individual, and then other people that have just really put you through the ringer, you know, that have really taken advantage of your love. And so it's hard for you to kind of like open up again. But I am getting like a sense of romance here. It's kind of like blossoming in your life or beginning to blossom. So there might be a newer individual that's around you right now. I know this is supposed to be a hype reading, okay? But it feels like love is really kind of coming out here. And this can even be in like this newer friend group that you're starting to surround yourself with. You just start to feel like there is more love around you, and I feel like it's a lot to do with people actually being able to relate to your losses, people actually being able to relate to your lack of vulnerability because of how much you've been through. I feel like you're going to be attracting a lot more people like that have actually been through it and have continuously remained positive as well. With the teacup here, it says ease, rest, and small mind, okay? So that's really interesting. I feel like you've taken a lot of time away. You might have gone through a lot of periods in which you haven't been able to speak your truth to partners, and it's been very tiring. And so you might be in this period of stagnancy where you haven't been really speaking to anybody or welcoming new love in. But I'm getting that like this is a really great time for you to start opening up yourself to love again, for you to start renewing that sense of love in your life. And that starts with the people that you surround yourself with on a regular basis. So that starts with your friends, you know, your coworkers, even like your job. If your job is calling you to get a new one, then definitely by all means try to get a new one, you know, or try to find maybe a different department to work in or promotion overall. Yes, you also have Violet here. So royalty, power, ambition, luxury, and nobility. Exactly what I was talking about at the way beginning of this reading. This group is definitely destined to make a lot of money, okay? But you of all people know that money doesn't change your emotions. Like, it's so interesting to see, like, whenever you're going through a hard time and you get a lot of money, it's so interesting to see that like that money doesn't really change anything for you. Like, it's just a number. It doesn't really make you feel any better. Sure, you can buy things to make yourself feel briefly better, but ultimately it doesn't really do anything for you. So this pile in particular might be very good at saving your money as well, just because you recognize that like those impulse buys are just like fleeting bits of happiness. Like, it's happiness, sure, for a very short period of time, but it goes away and it ultimately doesn't pay off in the long run because you're just spending your money on things that you don't necessarily need, you know? But with royalty, power, ambition, luxury, nobility, you are destined to have a lot of money, okay? Which I know in particular for this pile, you might be like, yay, but also like, you don't really care, you know, just because you've been through so much. And again, these like material goods don't really mean anything to you. I'm hearing this portion, yeah. It's like, these worldly possessions, I don't need none of them. Tu me merece. I can't speak Spanish, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. It's like, you don't need any of these earthly possessions because of all the loss that you've been through in your life. You recognize that we don't take any of that with us to the next life. And so it's better just to feel content in the life that you have at this very second in time, rather than like trying to find that in external things. It's better to start with contentment internally and have that really, really good sense of contentment internally, and then, you know, kind of prosper in other areas of our life, which you got my favorite card in the whole deck, which is peony, my favorite flower of all time. I have a little tattoo of it. Prosperity, good luck, love, honor, and bashfulness. Again, I feel like this group, believe it or not, is very lucky. Even though you've been through it, there is a lot of good things on the other side for you. And there's a lot of people that you can help too, especially if you have been through a lot of loss and are looking into becoming a therapist, psychology, again, sociology, I'm hearing like a dispatcher even, just kind of stuff like that, where you can use the experiences that you've gone through to help heal other people, to be that guiding light, not only because you persevered, but also because you can relate to them. You can empathize heavily with individuals that have gone through a plethora of loss. I don't know why those are the words that came to my head, but definitely, like, you have this ability to live this very prosperous life. And, you know, like, your spirit guides are very proud of you because of how much you've been through and how much you've handled. You know, like, you've really kept it on top and you've done such a good job. Like, I'm literally getting chills. I'm like my voice is starting to quiver as if I'm on the verge of crying. Like, that's kind of the vibe. Like, your angels, you know, they hated fucking putting you through all of this shit, obviously, but they've seen the person that you've become because of it, and they couldn't be more proud because you are an incredible individual. You are so wanted on this planet Earth. Like, you are so wanted. You are so necessary. You are here to change so many people's perspectives about loss and about death. You might even be a medium or somebody that is a psychic like me that's here to help heal other people. It's really whatever you feel most drawn to, you know, because way at the beginning of this, I literally said there is so many fields that I can't even get to all of them, but every single one that you feel drawn to, you specifically, baby bimbo, you are supposed to feel drawn to that for a reason, because you're supposed to be helping people in that area. I'm even getting, not a lot of people know about this, but when I was in college studying psychology, there is somebody that mixes therapy with nature. So that might be something that you're interested in too. Like, it's like sensory gardens. Like, they have sensory gardens where people can come out and use their senses, but also plant things and help maintain these gardens, and just getting people outside of their house and like using therapy, talking to these individuals while they're gardening, while the two of you are gardening together, actually helps people a lot. It helps them get grounded. There's microorganisms in the soil that get underneath your fingernails and into your bloodstream that release dopamine and serotonin. It's just really, really, really good for you overall. So I feel the need to mention that because I feel like this is a field that's going to be growing immensely over the next couple of years because it's so helpful. Like, who doesn't want therapy in the garden? Like, who doesn't want to get outside and talk to their psychologist, psychiatrist in the dirt, you know? Like, I think that would be so fun. There's also forest bathing that's becoming a really big practice. You could be into yoga, meditation. Just, there's so many fields out there that are meant for healing that I feel like, yes, oh my God, literally the card that you got is Dandelion, which is literally healing, hope, growth, family, rustic oracle. There is so many different practices out there that engage healing in people that you don't even realize. And so it's definitely good to be researching those things, getting into those different fields, because yeah, this is huge. Like, this group is meant to be changing the lives of so many people, and in the sense of healing, you know, in the sense of healing these people and showing them that there's more to life than what they are currently embarking in, you know, especially if it is a lot of these darker loss kind of situations. I'm even seeing like a morgue. You might work in a morgue. All right, for some of your character cards, you got Bratz doll and Barbie Rapunzel. Very interesting too. So lips, face, body, everything is incredible. You also have a very good fashion sense. You have hot baddie energy to you, obviously, because even though you are this super in-depth person that's been through so much, you're still a hot bitch too, okay? You still have it going on. Like, you have everything going on for you. Not just that, but with creative, boppin' outfits, loyal friends, magical, and entrepreneurship. Yeah, okay. So you could also be involved in working for yourself, entrepreneurship, starting up a new company that has to do with like skincare, just so many different things that can help heal individuals too. But with creative, I'm definitely getting that you use your creativity in the field that you're working in. You definitely are a creative problem solver. You know how to think outside the box. You know how to open up your horizon. I'm seeing like if there's a problem, you examine it from every single angle too. Because of how empathetic you are and how much empathy you've developed, you know, like you don't want to accidentally hurt anybody. And with loyal friends here, that's kind of what I was talking about, is I feel like you're attracting a friend group for yourself. Was it in this pile or was it in the last pile? I can't even remember at this point. Everything kind of blends together. But just a friend group, yeah, that can kind of relate to you more. I definitely talked about it in this one, especially with the hedgehog card. Like, you're definitely developing a more empathetic friend group is what I just heard. So that's really good. a lot of people that can relate to you more and be protective of you too, because you've probably dealt with a lot of bullshit, a lot of individuals that fleeted, I don't know if that's a word, that fled, yeah, there we go, that fled at a time in which you really, really needed them, basically. And that's not the type of people that you want in your life, you know? Like, you want people that are supportive of you, that are loyal to you, and that will go to the ends of the earth to support you, essentially. Not to the ends of the earth, obviously, especially if you're pulling some fuck shit, but my baby bimbos aren't pulling some fuck shit, okay? Like, y'all have been through too much to pull some fuck shit. We have Loki as well. So, cocky bastard, anti-hero with a question mark, hot shit. Yes, there's so much to do with, like, you are a very hot individual. You're very fiery and passionate. Dark clothing and magic, and with magical over here too as well. I feel like you definitely have a very magical energy to yourself. Like, people don't really catch you slipping, you know? You definitely keep to yourself, kind of like Loki. Like, it seems like he just kind of maintains this cocky kind of energy to himself, but in reality he's probably a very hurt individual who has been through a lot of shit, you know? So anti-hero means you're bad but for the right reasons, essentially. And I feel like that's definitely this pile, you know? Like, you're cutthroat, but it's for the right reasons. You kind of became this way. Like, it wasn't just like one day you were born and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna be an evil person. It's like you've been put through the ringer so many times that you almost have to kind of like put up this energy, put up this wall to protect yourself, you know? But especially with wildflowers here, I feel like you're gonna start to have a much more renewed sense of the world. And that could come from your new friend group, that could come from, or the new friends that you're already surrounding yourself with, that could come from a loving partnership, that could come from your career even, like working in a field that really makes you feel like you're making a difference on the planet Earth. We also have mermaid, okay? Literally, these are kind of fucking all over the place. We have cleansing, empathetic, and filled with love. Exactly what I've been talking about. You have this extraordinary empathetic nature to yourself. You are so filled with love, even though you are sharp, even though you have knives surrounding your fucking, like, I'm seeing like a hedgehog, but instead of the spikes, they're just knives. That's what you have sticking out, like, all around you. But once people get past that, they recognize that the inside is actually full of love, and that those knives are there to protect not only yourself, but the people that you love as well, because of how loyal you are of an individual. And you're also very cleansing in your energy. You're very magnetic. You draw a lot of people to you, but you know how to, like, clean house and how to kind of, like, get rid of the people that aren't serving you. Or, again, I'm getting like a human lie detector. Like, you might pull up the fact that some people are doing some fuck shit before it even happens, you know? Like, you just kind of know how to distance yourself. You're very hard to get to, essentially. But yes, my beautiful pile number 2, these are the messages that I got for you today. You are destined for a lot of prosperity, a lot of money, a lot of wealth, and you are destined to be healing and helping people in whatever field you're working in. And so it's going to be very variant and all over the place, but ultimately I feel like after what you've been through, you deserve some hardcore success and good luck in your life, okay? But I love you all so much from the bottom of my titty heart. I'm praying that this brought you some clarity. Definitely feel free to choose other piles as well, and I will see y'all very, very soon, okay? Bye. Hello to my absolutely gorgeous pile number 3. If you chose the Phantom Aura Quartz, this is going to be your reading. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I just got it and it is absolutely gorgeous. Stunning. Oh, and those look so cute together. Okay, but before I even started this reading, I heard, "Shawty, I'ma only tell you this once, you're the illest, ba-ba-da-ba-boo." So, definitely, and, like, I'm a diehard like Bruce Willis. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that will die kind of for your energy, and I'm getting, like, you literally are the illest, you know? Like, you got it going on, and a lot of people know that about you. A lot of people are very into your energy. And right off the bat, I got like this wave of energy. And so I feel like you are this burst of energy. You are this ball of light. You are just incredibly ambitious. I'm hearing you are go, 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 go. You are definitely a go-getter, but you get it, you know? You get it, got it good. And you don't let other people kind of like fuck with that. There's a lot of energy coming out already, so let's get into it. Wow, we have praying mantis. You're definitely rare, okay? You're a very rare individual, but it's because you've got your eggs going in so many different baskets that's why it's hard to see you, because you're consistently always doing something. You're always busy. You're always filling up your time with something or other. And yeah, that's definitely super hot. Like, a lot of people love that about you. Let's keep going though. We have 𝙂𝙂𝘾𝙆. Endurance. Yeah, you definitely endure a lot of different situations. I feel like you really put yourself out there. I'm also like seeing like a Russian nesting doll, and there's definitely a lot of layers to you. I'm also seeing like a face that like switches, like the Lego movie kind of guy, where it's like his head like turns, one he's good, one he's bad. But like, I'm getting a bunch of different faces for you. Like, you might put on a lot of different energies depending on like who you're around. You're a very like energy malleable individual. You're not like two-faced. No, okay? You're just like, you know how to act around certain people, okay? Like, because it takes a lot of different energies to be yourself. I'm getting like, there's so many different kind of vibes coming in. You might have a very intense spiritual team. Like, I'd be curious to know like who your spirit guides are, because it seems like your energy, like they all want to like take turns talking right now, and it's kind of hard to like keep track of who's saying what. Okay, y'all chill. Because it's definitely just like a super intense energy. Very, very, very different from the last two piles. We also have freedom here, Charlotte Perkins Gilman, okay? We also have snail and spider. Wow, look at all the bugs that you got. None of the other groups really got any bugs. Like, they're all like items. So I feel like there's something to do here with like, yeah, you're like a shapeshifter almost. That's what I was trying to say, is you're definitely a shapeshifter. You know how to like go from being one person to like being the next person. You might like to cosplay or dress up a lot, like do a lot of different things with your makeup. You might be like me, where one day it's like you want to be very masculine, the next day you want to be hyper feminine, like very, very, very feminine. And obviously, like for me, I'm hyper feminine like a lot of the time, but I feel like for this group, like you might be hyper feminine one day, you might be hyper masculine one day, you might be somewhere in between the next day. Or if like that's not resonating, then it's just kind of like you like to dress up like different people. I'm getting like one day you might be very Sex in the City. Oh, sorry, my stomach is hardcore growling over here. You might be hungry, or you might be eating right now. If you're eating, shout out, let me know what you're eating. But yeah, like, okay, so as I was saying, you might be like very Sex in the City one day, and then the next day you might be like Princess Corpse or whatever the fuck, the Princess Bride. No, that's not the one. What am I thinking of? What the fuck is that movie with the skeleton and the woman? Wait, that's two different movies. Okay, I'm thinking of like Nightmare Before Christmas, but not that one. The other one. Ugh, that's gonna kill me. I can't think of it. Okay. But anyways, you might be very like gothic the next day. You know, like you just like to play it up with your vibe, with what you look like. And it's fun. Like you still have like some essentials. Like you might have like a very essential like lipstick to yourself, or a winged eyeliner that you like to do. But then like the rest of the outfit you like to fuck up, kind of make your own, you know? Let's definitely read about some of these as well, starting with the praying mantis. Okay, yeah, are these in order? I feel like these are not in order. Oh yeah, okay, they might be a little bit. Wit, manipulation, and fun. Exactly. You're very witty, you're very fun. I feel like you're the life of the party is what's coming to my head. A lot of people want to be around you. And manipulation, again, like, you're kind of like manipulative, but it's not in a bad way. I'm not getting like you're like manipulative like for evil purposes, you know, to like kind of, you're just kind of like, you know how to make yourself appear like in a good light to a specific group of people. Again, my stomach is growling, very apologetic about it. but you just like know how to change up your appearance, you know how to change up your look and how to kind of like manipulate the vibe a little bit. We also have taking your time, the sacred, and fragility. So it feels like you definitely take your time to like adapt to some situations. So again, like very, very different from the last two piles. Like pile number one, more on the shy side. Pile number two puts up a front to protect themselves. This group is like, you might take your time getting to know people. You might sit back and like kind of observe other people, again, like the previous two piles, but it's just to kind of like get a read on like how people work, and then you'll kind of like maneuver your way around that, essentially. With Spider, we have focus, planning, digesting. Exactly. I feel like you're definitely a big planner. You have to be, especially with the busy schedule that you have yourself, like so many people wanting your attention. You're probably very popular. You have to like weave this crazy web of, okay, Monday morning is this. Tuesday afternoon, I have to go see this person. Wednesday at 9:00 p.m., I have a movie night with blah, blah, blah. That kind of vibe. Like you are very like planned out because a lot of different people want your time and want your energy. So it's difficult for you because, yeah, you have so many people that want your energy, that want your time, and you can't always like give that to everybody, you know, because you have your own shit going on. We have endurance though. Staying with pain, avoiding pain, and patience. Okay, so that's really interesting too. You might keep around a lot of people that like, that you feel like they have potential, you know? I'm gonna sneeze, and I also have throat chakra blockages, so that's really interesting. But a lot of people that you keep around might like not know how to speak their truth to you, or the latter, they might be speaking their truth but behind your back, like too much, kind of, you know. And you definitely deal with people like past the point that maybe you should be, but again, you see people's credentials, you know, or you see people's potential without seeing their credentials. That's it. Like you see people for what you believe that they could be rather than what they are. And so that can speak on romantic partners. I feel like especially for this group, you might deal with a lot of people who are breadcrumbers, or people who kind of tend to gaslight you or like make you feel crazy. But in reality, it's like, you're not crazy. Like these people definitely are putting up a front here to kind of like keep you along, but that wastes your fucking time. And so I feel like that's the biggest message of this reading, is not to have your time wasted anymore, because your time is very valuable. There are a lot of people that want your attention, that want your time, and this can even be seen like on social media. Like a lot of people might just be hitting you up all the time on Snapchat, on Instagram, texting you, sending you TikToks, just like trying to get your attention, you know, like they're probably like just doing a lot of things, Facebook Messenger even, like trying to get your attention, and it's just a lot for you to have to put up with on a regular basis, but you do it, you know, like you endure, and you might need a break too. This might be your sign that like if you feel like you're overwhelmed, a lot of people want your attention, schedule yourself in a fucking vacation, okay? Because you definitely need some time away to just kind of like recuperate. You need some freedom, you know? Because I'm getting that you don't have a lot of free time. You don't have a lot of downtime because you are go, 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 go. From the minute that we started this reading to even right now, like everything has been go, 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 right? And so this is like a huge message, again, of this pile, is that if you feel like romantic partners are gaslighting you or are wasting your time, breadcrumbing again, for the people that don't know, is essentially telling you that like they want to hang out with you, that they want to see you, but then when it's like you actually try to make those plans, they either go ghost, or they're like, I'll let you know later, because they're looking for better things to kind of come along before they can kind of go on this planned occasion with you. And so that is a huge fucking waste of your time, okay? And that is the biggest way to catch people that are false flames, is if they're breadcrumbing you. Okay, is if they're not like, not only like false flames, but also like people who aren't really your soulmate, like that are your soulmate to kind of like teach you the lesson of breadcrumbing and what to avoid, but ultimately like are not your soulmate because they're not making any moves, they're not fucking doing anything. And so this pile especially, if you have motherfuckers like that wasting your time, it's time to pick up your feet and keep it moving, okay? Like, and especially you will start to recognize those symptoms, that's kind of funny, those signals, those red flags way faster every single time. Because you recognize, like, right off the bat, if you are having to carry the majority of the conversation, get out of there, because this person's wasting your time, okay? I'm not saying, like, every single time, you know, if this person is, like, if you're having to carry the, sorry, my stomach keeps growling in this group, but if you feel like you have to carry the conversation some of the times, that's perfectly fine. That's normal. But if it's like you're asking the questions all the time, you're the one to keep the conversation moving. They only ask questions that are variants of your questions kind of vibe, then it's better that you just keep it moving, because you have a lot of shit going on for you, friendship-wise, family-wise, even career-wise, and partners especially are going to try and slow you down from these. And I want you to keep that in mind, because like those are the people that you don't want. Those are the partners that you do not want in your life. The partners that are trying to slow you the fuck down because they can't keep up with your pace, or because they feel kind of intimidated by the pace that you're going at, which is interesting because you also have snail here. I feel like a lot of people are kind of creating this snail energy in your life, are kind of slowing you down, when in reality it's like, baby, you're meant to be going at this fast pace, you know? You're meant to be speeding past all these motherfuckers, not trying to like string them all along, like bundle them up like you're a little spider and carry them along with you, you know? Because then your web gets too heavy and your web gets destroyed. And if your web gets destroyed, then you have to spend time repairing it. And so that just takes even more fucking time. And so it's better for you to just either A, leave those motherfuckers behind to drag their motherfucking feet in, stay stuck, or B, you eat them. You eat them up and you get rid of them, basically. But that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, especially from this group. Like, y'all are really meant to be thriving and making moves in this lifetime. And there's going to be a lot of partners, especially, that want to compete with you, that want to hold you back from these things because they're trying to catch up. When in reality, you shouldn't be paying any mind to them, okay? They should just be catching up in their meantime. Yes, we literally have Iris here, which is message, many admirers and compliments. I feel like, again, you have so many people that want your time, that want your attention, that want your energy. You probably might be one of those people that actually don't get complimented very frequently, because people expect you to be complimented frequently, like all the time. So you might be a lot more beautiful than you actually even imagine, because like, again, you might not get compliments frequently because you're actually super pretty. And a lot of people don't compliment very beautiful people because they think, again, that they're getting compliments all the time. Not just that, but again, I'm seeing a lot of people messaging you. You might be having a lot of people coming in from the woodwork, like coming back from your past, like trying to get your attention again. And this is your sign to like energy check them, but keep it moving. Like, if they can keep up with your pace, then they deserve to be in your life. But if they don't, then bye-bye, okay? They can fall fucking behind. And that definitely is the biggest piece of advice that I want you to take away from this reading today, is like, keep your shit moving, okay? Don't stay stuck for any one person, because these motherfuckers, like, that's on them, you know, if they want to stay stuck in this lifetime. But you have shit to do in this lifetime that you are going to miss out on if you keep falling behind for these other motherfuckers, okay? We also have Lily here. So fertility, rebirth, purity, devotion, and transformation. This group, though, ultimately, I feel like you're not going to have any problem leaving these motherfuckers behind, because you're into transforming. You're into devoting your life to transformation, to glow-ups, to manifesting bigger and better things for your life. You are a very fertile individual. You are full of ideas, creativity, inspiration. You are consistently rising from the ashes as if you are a phoenix, becoming bigger, better versions of yourself. And again, that's why it's so fucking hard for these people to keep up with you, because they also want to be that way, you know, but they can't, because because they're comparing themselves too much to you. You definitely don't really compare yourself to other people because you don't have fucking time for that shit. Like, you literally don't have time for that, number one. But number two, like, what the fuck was I going with? You just don't have time for it. Like, you literally don't have time for that shit. That's basically all I was trying to say. Like, and a lot of people, like, yeah, like, want to do that, like, want to be like you, but they just can't keep up the pace. We also have virtue, psychic and verbal communication. Yes, you might be a very, very good communicator. You might be, like, I feel like overall this group is very good at communication. Like, you're very clear-cut, to the point, concise, because you have to keep your shit moving. Again, you're very executive, kind of CEO vibes. You might be into entrepreneurship, into working for yourself. Yeah, we also have at the bottom of the deck, which I haven't done this for any other pile, but it, like, I was pounding it on my leg. Femininity, softness, delicate and passionate love. You are a very passionate individual. Like, a lot of people love your passion. They love your fire. They love your energy, you know, that you put out there. And again, you're probably a very good communicator. A lot of people look up to your communication. Because it's a lot to do with, like, the divine, too. You might use your intuition a lot to communicate with other people. And that really, really, really works for you. This group also destined for a lot of money, but it's very variant on, again, if you're willing to leave these motherfuckers behind that are just kind of dragging their feet or making you drag your feet, you know? We have, for one of your character cards, Howl's Moving Castle. So, secluded, Victorian with fireplace, vacation home, that's funny, books clusterfuck. Exactly, with freedom here, I'm getting that, like, you literally might benefit from a vacation, like taking a break, taking some time off to yourself, because I'm getting there's a lot of people that want your time and your energy, and if these motherfuckers can't even wait to give you a vacation, then they probably shouldn't be in your life, because you need people that are going to be patient with you, okay? That is, like, the biggest thing. Like, you need people that are going to be patient with your energy because you're so fast-paced. That doesn't mean that, like, they are going to be slowing you down. No, no, no. That means that they are going to be willing to wait potentially 5 days to see you until the weekend because you're fucking busy during the week. You know, you got a lot of shit going on just overall. And yeah, I feel like this is definitely your sign to have a little getaway, take a little vacation, get yourself out of your bubble, out of your box. And that doesn't even have to be like a huge vacation anywhere, okay? If that's not something you can afford, you can literally do a staycation. You can get yourself like a cheap little sheet mask, put on your favorite movie, cook your favorite meal, and then put on your little face mask and watch a movie, do your nails, just like relax at home, you know? Not having to talk to anybody for a whole day. What? Like, that seems like it's such a crazy concept, especially for y'all, but you literally might need that. You might need that even once a week, because especially since you're spending your time with so many people, you're picking up on all these energies. You need a way to clear yourself of their energies as well. Yeah, clear your energies. I don't know what the Phantom Aura Quartz is for, but it's interesting that I selected it for this pile. Oh my god, we literally also have text message, and that's interesting because you literally have message here with Iris. So, love offering, DM, text from crush, subliminals, question mark. So I definitely feel like there's probably going to be a lot of people offering you up love, okay? I don't see just one person in particular, okay? I see a lot of people, like, especially with the many admirers. You're definitely going to be getting a text, DM from your crush here pretty soon, okay? But again, check yourself. Make sure that, like, they actually want to go out with you. They actually want to hang out with you, and that they're not just going to be wasting your time and being like, okay, maybe we can hang out later this week. It's like, no, Bubba, you can't have a maybe in my schedule. My schedule is very set to a T, okay? And you can't just be variant, because I could fill that time with something else that I have to work on, you know? We also have Beast here. So, masked emotions, recognizing soft side, and strength card. Yeah, you are definitely a very strong individual, especially with the endurance here. Like, that is from the get-go very intense message here. Don't know why I couldn't think of that. But you're also simultaneously like recognizing that you do have a soft side, and I feel like that soft side definitely falls for love, you know. But you have to remain strong throughout all of that, and know that, yeah, know your value, know your worth, know that your time is your money. I'm hearing. We also have Watson here. So, writer slash blogger, ex-military, sidekick energy, and friend till the end. I feel like there's definitely a lot of people that want to be your friend till the end. A lot of people that want to be your sidekick. A lot of people that want to be this kind of steady rock snail in your life rather than just kind of letting you kick it, you know, letting you do your thing. They want to actually support you and help you out with projects. Like I'm seeing, if you are into entrepreneurship, I'm seeing like a bunch of packages, and like you, if you go down the wrong path of like choosing, you know, love, and not really focusing so much on, okay, how can I bring around more people that can help me, you're gonna find yourself with a bunch of packages that need to be sent out that you have to do all by yourself, okay? Because you know, just weren't emphasizing these really good kind of sidekick energy in your life. And if you do start to emphasize that and find people that naturally just want to help you, that want to be there for you, because literally like all my friends that I surround myself with, if I were at any moment to be like, hey, I'm super overwhelmed with my job right now, like with YouTube, can you please maybe jump in for like a day and help me get ahead? They would totally be there for me. They wouldn't drop all of their plans to help me out. Hell no, because they're busy people as well, and I respect that. But they would find time in their day to come over and help me out. And I feel like that's the kind of energy that you should be attracting, because you want people that are going to be there for you, especially in times in which you're starting to be super successful and super busy. You want to make sure that those people are actually there for you and not just there for your popularity, you know, because that can be such a difficult thing too, is that like a lot of people might want to hang out with you because you're starting to get bigger, but then when you're like, I mean bigger as in more popular, more famous, but then at those times in which you're like really overwhelmed, you have a lot of packages, a lot of things that need to go out, a lot of orders to be fulfilled, you reach out to them, they're like, I'm kind of busy right now, but like let me know when you want me to be in another video, kind of vibes, like some shit like that, you know, like, and that's not people that you want around you. That's not people that you want, you know. Oh my gosh, you might even be a writer slash blogger or ex-military. You might just be like very strong. You might have a very you might be into working out, have a very muscular physique, or just overall you might be very mentally strong too with everything that you've been through. So that's why I feel like these are huge messages for you today, because it's really setting you up for that success in the future, okay? Like I'm not just telling you guys this shit just to fucking tell you this shit. Like it's real. Like I feel like you want to start surrounding yourself with people that are actually going to help you out in the long run, okay? And that's a selfish thing to do, yes, but it's worth it. Like, and it's not even like conceited. It's not a conceited like selfish thing. It's like, it's a selfish thing, yes, but it's a good kind of selfish thing. Like I remember somebody commented on my YouTube channel recently, and this is what this is, but they literally were like, I just saw 222 too, so definitely be looking out for 222s as clarifiers for this group. So, but I had somebody comment on here, they're like, so the dick witch is literally just telling us that we need to like have a partner just for ourselves, and like that we should be thinking about just ourselves. It's like, no, I definitely preach empathy on this channel, but simultaneously, yes, you should want a partner for yourself, you know, like what the fuck else do you, what else do you want a partner for? Like, you want a partner to impress your family? You want a partner to impress your friends? Like, fuck no. That's your partner. You are dating them. You want a partner that you yourself like. Is it selfish? Sure. But, like, it's for a good cause. Like, it's for a good reason. If I understand, like, what I'm trying to say, I know that y'all understand what I'm trying to say, and y'all can understand my frustration with why I'm I'm peeved at that person because they're not getting the message. Like, you can still empathize with your partner. Of course, you definitely should do that. But simultaneously, you need to be thinking about yourself, because this is your life, not your partner's life, not your friend's life, not your family's life. It's your life, and you should be doing with it as you please, not trying to please other people, because that's not fair to you. That's not fair to anybody. Like, we're kind of over this era of people pleasing, of living up to expectations that other people set for yourself, because it's not their fucking life, it's yours. But yes, overall, the main messages of this group are that you are a go-getter, and you are meant to be around other individuals that are go-getters as well. People that want to help you out and that you want to help also. And that goes as far as your love life, okay? Because you're going to bump into a lot of breadcrumbers, a lot of people that just want your energy to further their life, to further their career, not so much to help you out, okay? So, and also a lot of partners that want to compete with you, but in the negative sense. Like, neither of you are winners in that way. Like, they just want to compete with you just to compete with you, and that's not fair. Like, yeah, you have to keep your shit moving. If you're running into breadcrumbers, leave them the fuck behind right now, okay? Literally right now, because I know a lot of you watching this pile right now probably have that crush, that person that texts you only when it's convenient for them, okay? Like, they only want to hang out when it's convenient for them. And that is not fitting in with your very, very busy life, your very busy schedule. And if you're like, Anaïs, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, my life is very stagnant. It's very slow right now. Well, guess what, baby? It's probably because you're giving into a lot of this, and it's time for you to start picking up your life, okay? It's time for you to start moving your life ahead, because there's people that are definitely going to be trying to drag you behind, and the sooner that you start recognizing that, the sooner that you start getting rid of those motherfuckers, the sooner that you are going to start popping off, and you're going to start excelling and seeing your life move at a much more rapid rate, okay? Whew! But these are the messages that I got for you, my beautiful pile number 4. I love you all so much from the bottom of my titty heart, and I will see y'all very, very soon, okay? Praying that this brought you some clarity also. Oh, and pick more piles. Okay. Bye. Alrighty. Hello to my absolutely beautiful pile number... Which pile is this actually? 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one's pile 4. I think I said pile 4 for the last reading. If you chose this beautiful heart, I forget which stone this is, but I know it's the highest vibrational stone. I absolutely love it. I just got it recently. This is going to be your hype reading. Let's get right into it, shall we? We have Angela Carter. Literally me trying to pronounce anything. With identity. Wow, this is such an intense card too. Y'all can see like the blood dripping from her blouse and into the mouth of this wolf with like these legs sticking out. That's super fucking hot, honestly. But with identity here, I feel like this group, like, you know who the fuck you are. You're not afraid to like show up and show off to individuals. Like, you're not afraid of the scrutiny, of the harsh looks that you get, of the judgment, because you recognize that like even people, okay, this is what's instantly coming to my mind, is even people that dress like Christian Girl Autumn are getting judged, okay? And that's no offense to anybody, obviously. Anybody here that likes to dress like Christian Girl Autumn, okay? But it just goes to show that like, even if you wear the most modest, conservative outfits, you're still getting judged by other individuals. And so it's better just to show up and be whoever the fuck you want, because ultimately, like, it's going to make you the most happiest. And yeah, it's not determined on other people's happiness anymore. I feel like it makes you feel just that much more content and satisfied with your life too. We also have 𝙁𝙆𝙀𝙀. Also, you guys, I suck at fucking pronouncing names. But Solitude. I feel like this group has taken a lot of time to develop yourself by yourself, okay? You've taken a lot of time to be independent, to be alone, to be surrounded by your own energy, and I feel like that was perfect because you're starting to figure out exactly who you are as an individual and to live your life in a much more fulfilling way because of that, okay? Wow, yeah, these cards are absolutely stunning. I love looking at them so much. Because look at, she's like getting lost in like the darkness, but she's at peace with it, you know? Seems like she's holding a broken heart too, so you could have taken a lot of time after like having your heart broken, whether that be from a breakup, from just like an outing with like a friend, or like a fling kind of vibe. Like you probably took a lot of time, a lot of solitude to really heal from these heartbreaks by yourself and develop yourself. Okay, it's like, who do I want to be without these people around me, without these other people influencing my judgments, influencing the way that I think, the way that I speak, the way that I you know, speak my truth, speak my mind. Then who would I be? What kind of person would I want to be? What kind of personality traits would I want to have? Like, you really built yourself very well, and a lot of people are recognizing that and seeing that. We also have Rabbit here, so I definitely get a sexual message from this kind of like right off the bat, like a lot to do with a lot of people wanting to like fuck you, kind of like take your time. I definitely am one of those people that believes that like sex is a huge energy exchange too, so you could have even taken like a brief moment of solitude from like having sex with like a lot of different people, or having sex with one person in particular that you really liked, again like that fling kind of energy, and then you kind of like distance yourself from that person because you recognize that it wasn't really going in the ways that you wanted to. And I feel like because of that, you've really grown as an individual. I feel like a lot of people, I'm getting, you're very sultry, you're very sexy of an individual, and a lot of people like that energy about you. A lot of people like your sexy kind of energy. You might have very soft skin as well. With Tree here, you're definitely one to grow. You're definitely not one to stay stuck. I'm getting this group also probably partakes in a lot of subliminals or like glowing up. You but also like I'm getting you age very well because you take everything with you, everything as a learning and growing experience. But you never let yourself forget it, especially if you fuck up, which sometimes, Jesus, what the fuck? Sometimes can be to your detriment, especially because you might linger on a lot of past situations and think about, okay, how could I have done this differently? What could I do differently, you know, for the next time? Like, which is a really good energy to have, but especially if you're lingering in a lot of those, like, okay, what if this happened? What if this happened? You know, then that can kind of be your detriment, because then it's like you're not continuously moving forward or focusing on the present. You're thinking too much about the future or about the past too much. Like, you're staying stuck in that kind of energy. We also have Gertrude Stein, so perspective. Yeah, I feel like you taking this time off to yourself, this solitude moment, this moment of silence has really shifted your perspective on the world, has really shifted the way that you see things. Kind of how I was talking about at the way beginning of the reading, with like the way beginning of the reading 6 minutes ago, with like shifting your perspective and realizing that like even people who wear Christian Girl Autumn, even people who wear very modest clothing still get judged, you know? So it's better for you just to live the life exactly how you want to live it. Know that judgment's gonna come with it, but kind of give no fucks, like literally give no fucks because of it. I'm literally seeing some people that like dress very outlandishly, you know, like they dress, I don't know if outlandish is the correct word, but they dress very differently to a lot of people, but it makes them feel more confident, it makes them feel more comfortable, and I feel ultimately that is what matters the most, that like it does not fucking matter like what other people are thinking about you, because those people have spoken out about getting hated on, like even when they're out in public, like people kind of like trashing on them, but they've recognized that like they just don't really give a shit like anymore, because because they recognize that like that's only coming from that own person's insecurity, you know, like the people that trash on other individuals, the people that make other people feel bad for the way that they look, those people are the ones that are most insecure, that take people's criticism and judgments the harshest, to their fucking core, to their soul, you know? They probably have been trashed on for wearing like a plain dress shirt and some khakis, and like ever since then they've probably started to hold a grudge for like, how many more people's lives can I destroy kind of vibes, you know? And so once you start shifting your perspective and seeing it more from that angle, which again, I'm getting that this group literally has, that's why I'm like hyping you up for it, you know, that's why we're discussing it right now, your life becomes that much more easier, you know? Like, I get hate comments pretty frequently doing the job that I do. Like, okay, not frequently at all. Like, they're very rare, I should say. Like, the hate is very rare. The love is very strong and it's very prevalent, but the hate it always speaks so much louder. But once you start to recognize that a lot of people that hate are actually doing it out of a place of insecurity, like insincerity, really, it's just insincere. It's just a representation of how they're feeling internally. You start to recognize and kind of feel bad for those individuals rather than taking it so much to heart, because you recognize that, like, if it's not constructive criticism, then why the fuck do they gotta say it? You know, like, why are they even wasting their breath on that? Because it's not helping you. It's not helping them. It actually probably makes them feel better a little bit, tearing other people down. But it's for a very brief moment in time, and then they have to sit and linger in their energy for a much longer period, which would be fucking painful. And I know that y'all, like, some of y'all might be like, where the fuck is this bitch going? But like, a lot of you are like right here with me. Like, you're understanding what I'm saying, and that's how you know that this group is meant for you, because you have dealt with all those motherfuckers. Like, yeah, 𝙄𝙯𝘾𝙆 with history. Like, this is your history that I'm explaining right now. You have literally been through it with like all these insecure motherfuckers, probably from like your very young elementary school days. Like, you've probably dealt with people who would tell you like, oh, you shouldn't wear that, like, that doesn't look very good on you, but in reality, like, it looked great on you. They were just nervous that you would kind of steal the spotlight from them, or kind of bullshit like that. But I feel as though all of these times have really shifted your perspective and have started to make you more content with the life that you're living right now. And this is a great period to consistently keep glowing up and to not see yourself as selfish for doing it, because it's ultimately making you feel better in the life that you're leading right now. So you might as fucking well be doing it. We also have 𝙂 and 𝙭here. I feel like you are a very wise for your age individual. You're a very old soul. You have a lot of depth to you, and I feel like that's why you understand the world at this very in-depth kind of level, because you've not only been through it, but I feel like you've probably been through it in past lives, or whatever you really believe in. But ultimately, like, you are a very wise individual. A lot of people come to you for advice. They come to you for knowledge too, especially with the 𝙂 here. Like, a lot of knowledge and wisdom. I feel like people just like listening to you speak. You might be a very good storyteller. Get a couple drinks in you and you might be telling stories for days. It's interesting because I got throat chakra blockages too as I was trying to say that. But yeah, you might be very good at like podcasts or story time, just kind of like sharing your advice with the world. Like, even if it's just like on the small scale, like sharing your stories with your friends. Like, you might post like Snapchat stories, literally, or Instagram stories about like rants, kind of like what's gone on in your day, and you might notice that a lot of people actually like to listen to them because yeah, you are just a very, very interesting individual. You've been through so much. Okay, we have Angela Carter, identity, investigating identity, roles, and who you are. Exactly. Literally everything that I've been saying. I feel like you've been putting a lot of emphasis on figuring out who you are, what you have to kind of like offer this world. And because of that, like a lot of people are really looking up to you. I just saw 1212 also. We also have Alejandro. It makes me a little upset, Ski, that these aren't in, or sorry, Alejandra, in alphabetical order. Anyways, we have silence in territory. I don't know what that means. If anybody knows what this word means, please let me know. In territory. Yeah, okay, whatever. And space, okay? Yeah, I feel like you definitely are one to take a lot of space, a lot of, again, time to yourself, to really develop yourself. You're not afraid to spend that time alone, which is very different than the last pile, because the last pile is like, you have to start spending alone time. I feel like this group in particular understands alone time to a T, and how much refreshing your energy actually helps you out too. We have Gertrude Stein. Let me see here. Making sense, frames, and new ways of seeing. Literally everything that I've been saying, like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you're definitely seeing things from newer perspectives and trying to empathize more with yourself also, which I think is so important. And with 𝙄𝙆𝙾 here, history, it's lineage, the past, and deep time, which again talks more about what I've been saying. Like, I feel like you are a very old soul. Like, you go back decades, and I feel like you might get this from your family. You might notice that like some of your family were really good storytellers, or and you take after that for sure. Like, just a lot of people that you surround yourself with have been very good storytellers, and I feel like you've picked up on that a lot and really started to develop your life around that a little bit. Rabbit, we have waiting, making leaps, and adventure. Yeah, you're definitely a very adventurous individual. Could even be in the bedroom too. Like, you like to try new things, but overall, I'm definitely getting you're very cultured. You like to get out there like the tree. You like to spread your roots, spread your wings, and really just thrive. Yeah, the tree literally means wisdom, good roots, and connection. You definitely like to connect with a lot of people, spread your wisdom, get wisdom from other people as well. It's just beautiful what you do. We also have skull, which is transitions, reality, and grief. So you've probably been through a lot of different stages and phases in your life, and it's really made you that much more stronger of an individual, that much more wise too, so you can kind of share that with other people. With elixir here, it is health, toxicity, and attending. You're definitely attending to the toxicities of your life, the impurities, and trying to make them pure again. Trying to, yeah, just, okay, wow, that was really fast. Perfect. Trying to, yeah, have devotion and courage throughout these harsher conditions. Which is interesting because we also have lavender here, which is silence, serenity, and calmness again, and solitude. Like, there's a lot to do with you taking time to yourself and your spirit guides, your angels, universe, God, whatever you believe in, being very proud of you for taking time to yourself and for recognizing me time is very important, and it also keeps you devoted and courageous throughout these harsher conditions, you know? But with rustic oracle, healing, hope, growth, and family, and tree here, and like lineage, there's a lot to do with a lot of these good traits kind of like running in your family, like the storytelling, the wisdom. You might have like, I'm seeing like you might have had like a grandpa or like grandparents that were very, very, very wise. Like, one of them could have been like a good storyteller, another one could have been very wise, that you like to listen to their advice a lot of the time, and I feel like you're really growing into that, you know? Let's get some character cards for y'all today. Yeah, you're just like you're such a grower, not a shower, you know? You definitely like to grow and not really show off that much. Like, you just like to kind of keep to yourself. We have Magic Kingdom here, okay? So, aesthetic house, older and stone, filled with family and magical times. Yeah, so this could either be pertaining to like a house of your childhood or a house that you're going to have in the future, especially with growth and family. You're definitely very family oriented, and I see a lot of people like wanting to have families with you, like knowing that you're definitely spousal material. This pile for sure is hardcore spousal material. A lot of people like want your time and your energy. I feel like you create a lot of magical times. You, even if you don't have kids, you have like, or if you do have kids, it really doesn't matter. You have, or you've been planning to have very magical times. Like, I'm seeing like themed movie nights, birthday parties to the fullest extent, just like very family oriented and fun occasions for everybody. I'm seeing a lot of outdoor time with family members as well. Wow, this pile got Mr. Darcy also. So mysterious, bad at communication, excruciatingly sexy and intelligent, and a gentleman. I feel like in times you have been bad at communication, you have been bad at speaking your truth, but over the era you've gotten like a lot better. Like, and that could be with storytelling too. Like, you could have started off as somebody that maybe wasn't the best storyteller in the world, but you've really grown into yourself, and you've really grown into be this very intelligent and sexy, seductive, very beautiful individual that a lot of people want to sit down and listen to. You're definitely a gentle woman, gentle man, gentle human. A lot of people love your what was I gonna say there? They love your manners. You're very well mannered. We also have Teddy Bear here as one of your character cards. So comforting, soft, plush, and cuddles. You're definitely a very cuddly individual. I'm also seeing that like when you're a parent, even if you're just like an animal parent, like you'll definitely take pride in like having cuddle time like with your kids, like, or if they're ever having a bad time or like a bad night, you're not afraid to like crawl into bed with them and like comfort them back to sleep, oh my god, essentially. Jeez Louise, that could be the way that you're bad at communication, is like you might glitch like I do, or like you might be Miss Malaproppin like I am and kind of say the wrong words. We also have Princess Tiana as one of your character cards. So entrepreneurship in the food industry specifically, works for herself and she works for her goals. Exactly. And again, this is a genderless reading, so obviously take it how it resonates, but you definitely work for yourself. You work for your goals, and that's why you take a lot of time in this silence, in this solitude, because you recognize that that's when you have the best ideas. That could even be like when you're showering, like at night or in the morning. That's when you have the best ideas. I knew of somebody's daughter who, whenever she would shower, she actually had a rack in the shower way far away from the water with a notebook in it, because she recognized that that's when she had the best of her ideas, was when she was showering. And that can be like for lyric writing, that can be for poetry, for journaling, for entrepreneurship ideas, again, food ideas. You might be a very good cook also, which I feel like is a lot of the reason why people actually want, like I'm hearing the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, you know, but that can be to a woman's heart too. That's definitely to my fucking heart is through my stomach, you know, but and I feel like you're a very good cook. If you're not a good cook, it might be something to look into, do more research about, and start cooking more. You might find that you're actually naturally a very good cook. That's how I figured out that I was a kitchen witch. Not actually because because I was like doing spells and like involving the kitchen, but actually because I'm naturally just a very, very, very good cook. And it comes from me growing up watching Food Network, me growing up watching just a lot of cooking shows, and collecting little tips and tricks along the way. Two Fat Ladies is coming to my mind. That is one of my favorite fucking cooking shows of all time. And the only way that I can get it, I believe, is on DVD at the library right now. I don't know where to find that show. If anybody can let me know where to find that show where I could watch it right now, I would die. I love that show so much. And it has taught me so much about cooking also. Hi, baby. Little ghost is coming in. My new kitty. It's actually my boyfriend's kitty, but he's mine now because he's just the sweetest. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot to do with this pile with entrepreneurship too, and looking into working for yourself. So if that's something that's been calling your name, it's definitely something to look out for, because you like to spend a lot of time alone anyways. And that sometimes is the biggest indicator, especially if you are self-motivating. That's the biggest indicator that you should probably be doing something involving entrepreneurship, especially starting on the side as a hobby, because it might eventually pay off for you. And yeah, aw, sweet little baby ghost. You're such a sweet little baby. But yes, my beautiful pile number 4, these are the messages that I got for you today. Just as a recap, y'all are definitely better off working alone, working by yourself in silence. I feel like you've been doing so much identity checks, just really growing up and developing contentness within the life that you're living at this very second in time, rather than trying to find that in external sources, because you've really learned that that's so fleeting for yourself. So it's good to be shifting your perspective and dressing however the fuck you want, you know, in public, because you now, if you didn't before, you now recognize that people, doesn't matter what they're wearing, are going to be judged. And so it's better that you feel confident and you feel comfortable, because that radiates so much more energy than being subdued and submitting to other people's ideologies of what they believe the world should look like, you know, conforming to those things that we believe that we should be doing, when in reality it's not making us happy, because this is your life and it's meant to be lived however you want to live it. And I feel like overall this group also is a very good storyteller. You're wise beyond your years, and you are wife, husband, spousal material to the fucking max. So definitely watch out for that, and make sure that you are being very highly selective with the partner that you are bringing into your life, or partners, depending on if you are polyamorous or monogamous. But overall, I feel like you are such a healing and devoted energy to be around. So just keep up the beautiful, beautiful work, because you are doing such a great job. And by you going out there dressing however the fuck you want to, you are only encouraging other people to act out of their own identity and to be more of themselves in their everyday life, and to find more contentment in that as well. So I love you all, my beautiful pile number 4. This is definitely a multiple pile pick a card reading, so be sure to pick other piles as well. But I love you all. I'm praying that this brought you some clarity. Alrighty, last but certainly not least, my beautiful pile number 5. If you chose this gorgeous, I think it's Angel Aura Quartz, but I'm not totally sure. It's so beautiful and multicolored. Let's go on ahead and get into your hype reading today. I don't know what's going on already. I feel like you got a lot of people stuttering right off the bat. Like, a lot of people are intimidated by your nature about yourself. Okay, so let's get into it. We have eel, yes, which I'm kind of getting like an electric eel. Like, you're kind of slippery, slimy, but like not in like a gross way, okay? Like, you know how to like weasel your way in and out of different situations, essentially, and you might get yourself into a lot of sticky situations because of that, but ultimately you learn and you grow and you know how to avoid those in the future. We also have lantern, so you're definitely a huge guiding light for a lot of individuals, okay? I feel like you have very unique problem solving abilities too, which is very similar to pile number 3. But this one's definitely different because you guys are very unique in your problem solving attributes. So like where somebody might see like a complete wall, you manage to find a hole to like swiggle through, basically, is what's the visual coming to my mind. We also have chicken here. Okay, so it's kind of funny because right off the bat I'm getting like you might be a little bit of like a scaredy cat, or like you might not like to take a lot of risks, but ultimately you still get into trouble somehow. So I feel like you're starting to take more risks too. Wow, this one is one of my favorite cards in this whole deck. Isn't that absolutely stunning? It's Sappho, which is love, and her artwork has actually been, or her poetry has actually been destroyed a lot because she was a woman, and they found out that later on about her, so we don't have a lot of remnants of her. We also have Shirley Jackson, which is family. So that's really beautiful. I'm definitely getting mad, hopeless romantic vibes from this pile. You guys are definitely big into family. You probably want a really big family. You're very comforting of an individual too. I feel like a lot of people can come to you in times of need and in times of wanting someplace warmth. I'm getting that like once you have a family too, you probably are the type of individual that wants to be that household for not only your kids, but your kids' friends also. So that way, like if your kids' friends are ever having hard times at home, they know that they can come find a place with you, which I think is so beautiful. You might have actually had an experience like that too, where you kind of felt like maybe like you had hardships in the family too, and you kind of found an escape with a friend's house instead. And so that's kind of what has propelled you into wanting to live this life of being a safe space for other people, essentially. I'm definitely getting a big safe haven vibes from this group, but also you're definitely hopelessly romantic. So you want the family, yes, obviously, but you want the partner. Like you really, really want to fall in love. And I'm getting that your life up until this very moment has already been such a crazy rom-com, whether you believe it or not, because I get so many people on here that are like, Dick Witch, like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've never been in a relationship before. Yes, okay, but you've probably had instances in which you've had those like meet cute moments with people, or you've had a lot of strangers that stare at you like on the subway or on the trains and stuff, and deem you as beautiful but unapproachable because of your beauty, you know? And that's definitely the vibe that I'm getting. You're super intimidating because of those reasons. So don't ever think that you're not getting partners because people aren't interested. I believe a lot of people are interested, but they're just afraid. They're chickens. That's it. I feel like that's more of their energy rather than yours. Although you might also have like a very not niche fear, but a very like prevalent fear in your life. Like it could be heights, or it could be falling, or it could be spiders, like something like that, that a lot of people know you for, like this big fear of yours. But overall, that's kind of like not like hype, but I kind of think it is. I think it's cute whenever I figure out that somebody has like a fear of spiders, especially because that means that like they probably will attract partners that like will want to save you like from these situations, you know, that will want to take the spiders out of your life, essentially, whether that be like bad people, bad situations, whatever that means for you. But you definitely have people that want to like save you, essentially, like want to be like the superhero of your life, kind of. So definitely keep that in mind when you're attracting partners. But let's go on ahead and read more about these cards because I'm very intrigued. With the eel, we have what lurks, electricity, and dishonesty. Exactly. I feel like you have a lot of people stalking you, stalking your social media, watching you, and a lot of people that have this like chemistry towards you, but they're kind of dishonest about it, or they're very mysterious about it, or they're reserved, which is why you probably run into a lot of problems in your love life, because I feel, especially with this pile, you want somebody that's like upfront. I'm kind of seeing Enchanted, and I'm seeing Prince Charming from that, like how he's kind of like, I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss. Like he's very like out there, right? Like, and he wants this person's heart, and I feel like, ooh, contrary to that, that might be a lot of people that you actually deal with. A lot of people that like are very out there and like that want your affection, but then when it comes to like actually getting in the relationship, they're like, I don't know, kind of vibes, and you're like, what? Like, that's completely contrary to what you've been putting out this whole entire time, you know? Not just that, but I feel like you just have a lot of secret admirers, a lot of suitors for this pile, a lot of people that just like to watch, you know, just like to watch you, a lot of simps I'm getting. But there's definitely a lot of people that feel that electricity, that feel that chemistry in your vibe, you know, that like they feel your fiery energy and they definitely want more of it. Ghost, are you trying to eat a leaf? Did you eat a leaf? Please don't eat leaves, okay, baby? That's not good for you. But let's see what else we have here. Chicken. Chicken should be on this page. Here it is. The cackle, ancient past, and lore. You probably have the best laugh I'm getting. People love to make you laugh. People love to hear your ferocious laughter, okay? Especially with cackle here and ancient past and lore. You might be into like a lot of lore, a lot of like medieval kind of times. Like you might like to go to Renaissance festivals, kind of like geek out in that sense. But then you also have this very like seductive, like kind of sexy side to yourself. So like, yeah, like I'm seeing somebody that likes to go to Renaissance festivals, but somebody that likes to dress up as like the sexy like elf or like fairy kind of vibes, you know, like that kind of energy where it's like you're very nerdy, but it's like attractive, it's very sexy, and people definitely like to make you laugh. People love to make you laugh, okay? Like there's a lot to do with you just having this gorgeous, gorgeous laugh that is infectious, I'm hearing. It makes a lot of other people laugh too. With lantern here, we have guidance, instinct, and trust. So you definitely guide a lot of people. Like I said, you're definitely a big guiding light in people's lives. I feel like you act a lot on your instinct, a lot on your gut, but it works out for yourself because you ultimately have trust that you know it's going to work out. Even if things don't go as expected for you, that's perfectly fine because you know that ultimately it will be going your way, okay, and ultimately it will be benefiting you. And that especially is said in love. With Sappho here, I feel like in your love life there's been a lot of like oopsies or like a lot of things that maybe didn't go as expected, but ultimately it's going your way because you're ending up with somebody that you're going to have this beautiful life partnership with, somebody that you can grow with for the long haul, you know. Which that might not even be like your thing either. You might not even like want somebody necessarily that you grow with forever. You might want like a lot of different partners that will help you kind of grow throughout the era. But especially with family here, I feel like family's kind of your biggest goal. Like you just want a very big family. We have domestic pleasures, domestic horrors, partnerships, and children. Exactly. Oh my god. And there's like little descriptions about all the people, and in this one it said, yet keen observation and a sense of humor pervade many of her works, especially her very funny essays on raising 4 kids. And especially with humor, you might not only have a very good laugh, but also a very, very, very good sense of humor. You're very witty. Isn't that what eel means? Doesn't eel mean wit? Oh, what lurks? No. But ultimately, I feel like you have a very good wit to yourself, a very good sense of humor. And domestic pleasures, domestic horrors, yeah, so you've been through the mix of all of the above, like times in which you've had really, really good relationships, times in which you've had really, really bad relationships, and I feel like you're growing, you're glowing, and you're starting to find like what is going to bring you passion for the long haul, because I feel like this group especially is like settling down, like you're hunkering down, you're getting ready for your next long-term commitment, and I feel like you're really, really reeling that in, especially with your beautiful sense of humor here too. With Sappho and love, we have the beloved, desire, and taking flight. Yes, so I feel like there's going to be a big period in your life in which you're really starting to explore. I'm hearing like explore your options. I'm seeing you're Sex in the Citying yourself, which is what I love to say whenever I encourage people to get out there, to go on dates, to have fun, especially if you're single. I see so many single people pawning over one specific individual, when in reality they should be spreading their eggs into different baskets and really getting to know a plethora of individuals rather than just one person. Because if you're spending all your time on that one person, those are kind of the standards that you're comparing your love life to, when in reality you should be heightening them and bringing in bigger and better options, people that are going to fulfill you in the long run, not just in this short-term period of time, you know? Which is so, so beautiful. Plato called Sappho the 10th muse, and her reputation has survived to this day. Yeah. Only a few fragments of her poetry remain because it's been lost in time, fire, and religious disapproval. So a lot of her work has been burned up, has been destroyed because of the fact that she had like a bittersweet relationship with women, kind of. So that's really interesting. But Plato called her the 10th wonder of the world. And I feel like that's how your partner, your life partner that you're attracting right now, is ultimately going to treat you and is ultimately going to make you feel like the 10th wonder of the world, because you're so beautiful and outspoken. Also, I apologize for my stomach in the background, but you're so beautiful and outspoken. And I'm getting, especially for this pile, you might stand up for human rights too, for specifically women's rights, especially being represented as Sappho. You have a lot of love for humanity and for people, and I feel like that's why you want to open up this safe space for a lot of people, because you're so non-judgmental and you're open-minded to a lot of different cultures and human beings' backgrounds, and yeah, like you're just such a safe haven. And if that's not representing you, then this probably is definitely not your fucking pile, because this pile in particular is all about being a safe space for people. And you can't be that if you're a judgmental asshole, okay? You can't be that, because I had one time where I was like, this group feels very like feminist, like you feel very about women's rights, and you might not necessarily be a feminist, but you still believe in women's rights. And I remember having one person that was like, this is totally me, except for the fact that I am not a feminist. And it's like, that word has definitely lost a lot of its like true meaning. Like, it ultimately means a woman who is for women's rights, you know? And a lot of that has been lost in translation and gurgled up and swallowed and spit back out, and like, you know, like it's just been mangled and tangled. But in reality, the deepest roots of it are literally just in support of women's rights. And you could be in support of minorities' rights and gay people's rights, which we are full on accepting in this space, okay? This is a 110,000% safe space. I will not ever put up with any of that fuck shit on this channel, ever, ever, ever. And that's the vibe that I get from this group, is that you guys are very protective, particularly of the ones that you love, you know, particularly of the people that you hold closest to your heart. You're very protective of them. And you create this space, this safe space where you can laugh, where you can be free and have fun, and also like dress how you want, say what you want, as long as it's not hurting yourself or others. Like, you can really be outspoken in this space, and I think that's super beautiful. Yeah, I'm definitely hungry. I'm gonna get some lunch after this. My stomach has been growling. Normally it's not like much of a growler, but today it is. We have cherry blossom here, so renewal, optimism, transience of life. Like, this group is consistently renewing your perspective of the world, okay? You're consistently increasing your optimism about the world, and it's just so beautiful, this group. Like, this group gives me a lot of faith and hope for the future, you know? Like, y'all literally are the future, and you're going to be creating like such safe havens for people. And I feel like this world, the more safe havens that we have, the better that this planet is just going to keep becoming, because we're not going to be accepting this negative energy anymore. Witch Hazel, which literally stands for spell and repel negative energy, which I feel like this group is getting really, really good at, is repelling those negative Nancys, those people that just want to tear other people down for no fucking reason. It's like, focus on yourself. Like, maybe stop focusing on how you can control other people and start focusing on what you can control, which is yourself. And I feel like that's what you say a lot to a lot of individuals, even mentally, you know, like you might beef with a lot of people mentally. I feel like that's a lot of the time in which you have a lot of rage, is when other human beings are being hurt. Like, that's the only time that, like, it's either kill or be killed, what you gonna do? That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting, but that's the only time in which you get really passionately heated, is when somebody that you love is being hurt, or a community, or minorities in particular are being hurt. That's when you feel the most passion and drive to make this place a better world, because you get angry and you get heated and you want to make these changes, you know? This is a beautiful, beautiful, passionate pile. Literally, as I said passionate, I flipped around Azalea, which is temperance, developing passion and elegance, because you are a very temperate individual, okay? You're very balanced in your nature, in your mind. You don't get angry often, but when you do, it's for a reason. It's for a very, very good reason, and it's normally to do with somebody you love being hurt, or, you know, like a group, a culture that you love that's being hurt. We also have magnificent beauty. Goodness, my throat chakra blockage is devotion and divinity. I feel like you are a very divine individual. You're super devoted to making people comfortable, to making people happy, and you are magnificently beautiful. I'm hearing naturally beautiful. Like, you could wake up, roll out of bed, and like put on like your ugliest clothes and somebody would still compliment you. I'm getting, like, even if it's just in their mind, there's people complimenting you, because I literally just get that you just exude such beautiful, beautiful energy, and you're so naturally beautiful. You might have pretty privilege too, but you use that to help out a lot of individuals, which is so good. But you're very elegant. The way that you carry yourself, like, you would never, ever, ever have an outburst. You do mentally destroy people in your mind, but when it comes to actually like having an outburst or like doing something like that, you wouldn't. Like, you would never have like a Karen moment, because like you recognize, you know, kind of how that looks, and what does that do for you, you know? Nothing. So I feel like you're a very rational and practical human being, and that's why it's so fucking hard to argue with you, because like you're already 10 steps ahead of fucking everybody. So anyways, for one of your character cards, we have Edward Scissorhands. Looks scary but misunderstood, artistic, kind-hearted, and left in the cold. Yeah, see, and that's kind of the vibe, like, I'm getting. Like, you might have been left in the cold, whether physically or emotionally, by a lot of like just times in your life. And so I feel like that's why you're growing up to want to have a safe space for a lot of individuals, because you recognize that like you never want somebody to feel the same way that you have felt in the past. With artistic here, you might be very into painting, creating. Edward Scissorhands is into like scissoring. That's really fucking funny, but not that one. Like art scissoring, like chopping. I don't know what the fuck that's. Trimming bushes. Just everything coming out sounds very sexual, but I don't mean it that way. We also have Beast Castle, so hidden collection. Okay, yeah, you might be into a little bit of BDSM too. You might want to provide like not only a safe space for your family, but a safe space for your partnership, for the love of your life, where the two of you can have fun sexually and get very creative sexually as well. We also have a big library. There's a maid and a chef and a rose garden. So you might be into gardening, having a garden of your own in the future. You might also have a maid or a chef also, because of, your luxurious lifestyle. You might just want to invest in a maid overall, especially if you're looking into having a really big family. That might be something that you want to set aside for yourself, as a little bit of like 50 bucks like a month, just to have a little maid to help you around the house. With magic mirror here, we have reflecting each other, twin flame / ultimate soulmate in past life. Again, I feel like you're really looking for the love of your life, that partner that's going to reflect your energy, the person that's going to also create this safe space with you, that's going to encourage these creativities, which is so beautiful. Okay, we have two more character cards, Regina George and Sugar Plum Fairy. Both different vibes, but again, that's literally the energy that I was getting. Both of these say kind-hearted too, because again, free-spirited, welcoming, that is exactly the kind of person that you are. But simultaneously, like Regina, like, you know, if anybody fucks with her friends, that's it for them. Like, she's very protective of her friends. She's very protective of herself also, but a lot to do with her friends too. She's definitely the center of attention. She's popular, loves pink, and has an early 2000s vibe. You might be into Y2K fashion. You might be very popular as well, have a lot of people kind of wanting your attention. Again, because of your ferocious laughter, your guiding light to people, your electricity that you just provide. But yeah, you're very free-spirited and welcoming, and that's why a lot of people are drawn to you, because you just have such a beautiful magnetic way about yourself, and that's so wonderful. So yes, my beautiful pile number 5, these are the messages that I got for you. Just to recap again, you probably have a very good sense of humor and a ferocious laughter. You are probably very hopelessly romantic, but you're looking for your partner, your lifelong commitment, and a family, like a way to build this beautiful family. And a beautiful safe space for individuals. I feel like you renew a lot of people's optimism in their life for what they can have for themselves, especially when you're providing this safe space for individuals in the future or right now. You literally let people have more optimism for their life because you give them the space to grow their optimism, to grow their heart and their soul. And I think that's beautiful. You definitely repel a lot of negative energy. You probably absorb a lot of negative energy too, so it's good to get into the habit of releasing that, purging that, getting rid of that, so that way you know that it's not just affecting you also. I feel like you are very, very naturally beautiful, and a lot of people love you because of that. You're very devoted, you have a lot of passion and a very elegant nature to yourself. So yes, my beautiful pile number 5, I'm praying that this brought you some clarity. If this is the first pile that you chose, definitely pick some more, because we're trying to get super in-depth here with these compliments. This one was not trying to be very surface level. I was trying to go super, super deep into how I can compliment people and how I can further their existence overall. But yes, I love you guys so fucking much from the bottom of my titty heart. I'm praying that this brought you some clarity, and I'll see y'all very, very soon, okay? Goodbye.